Good morrow, fellow audiophiles. Here we are again with another episode of Is It Shit? Today we are looking at...
We're looking at another T-Rex plugin. It's the Tascam 388. It's basically a emulation of the 388 was a weird Porter studio they did, which was enormous because it had a 1/4-inch reel-to-reel multi-track, 8-track in it, and a mixer and all that. And this basically emulates the sound of that.
So, was that a good sound?
Weirdly, it was one of those things that came out in the mid-80s and people used it because at the time it was kind of cutting edge. If you had a demo studio, you'd be pretty lucky to have one of those things. And then obviously it ended up on eBay for 20 years because no one wanted tape, no one wanted that old tech. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody recorded an album on one a few years ago, and all of a sudden you can't buy these things for love nor money. The prices have gone through the roof. People now, oh, it's amazing, it's tape, it sounds great, and everyone's back on it.
It seems a little peculiar to me, this. However, I think it's worth noting for the viewers at home that somebody has managed to procure the hardware version.
Well, not quite. So what I've got the Tascam M06 mixer, which is basically, it's the same mixer that was on this thing without the tape bit. So I'm using that on an insert. I can run stuff through it. Quite often I push drums through it, and I push them quite hard, and I get that slightly saturated, overdriven, 80s crap mixer sound on my drums, which I quite like. It's nice. And I also use the effects return on it, goes through a distortion pedal for some extra flavour. But it's quite nice to go through something that is a bit old and crap and bring it back into your Logic system or whatever else, and it just gives it another dimension.
So it's nice to go through something that's a bit old and crap, and somebody has made a version that you don't have to go through.
Yes.
That's old and crap.
Yes, and
it's made by T-Rex,
yeah,
which means that you have to install.
That's the downside. So T-Rex, as we've mentioned before, they have this whole thing. You have to install the IK Multimedia app, then you have to install the custom shot app, and then you have to install demos for pretty much everything they make in order to get it. That being said, I know it's done, isn't it?
Sorry,
it took me an hour. It took me an hour to install these demos.
Yeah.
Which Jesus, that's just time and money, isn't it? But I will say, this thing, not only do you get the little mixer in it, you also get the tape aspect of it, and you can choose the flavour of tape. So there's Ampex 456, 499, I think there's a couple of others. What else have they got? The GP9, so all the like famous tape brands.
I'm 42 years old, and that means nothing to me.
No, you're too young, weirdly. But in those days, back in, when I started, you recorded to tape, and different tape brands sounded different, and this gives you the opportunity to run stuff through that, back again, and it is really interesting, and it actually sounds surprisingly good.
Okay, because you can make the comparison because you've got obviously similar.
Yeah.
Bit of hardware.
I mean, it is surprisingly good. I really like it. I think if I had to choose between having the plug-in and my little mixer that I run things through, I would still keep the mixer because it's real analog. I can drive it just right, just the right amount of overdrive to get that sort of harmonic distortion out of it, and I really like it. And it's a real thing, But if I couldn't get that, I'd be pretty happy with this.
Okay, so you're saying, I can see again, it's a bit thirsty on CPU.
It is a little bit thirsty, but I don't think you'd have many instances running, so I don't think it's an issue. You'd probably only have one running and stick stuff through it on a
price.
$99, which is,
Okay.
It's. I think you probably use it a lot. It's the kind of thing you'd get and use for a whole album project, maybe. So,
Sean, is it shit?
No, it's not shit. It's
okay,
good.
all right.
I think you have to take into account the rigmarole you have to go through with T-Rex stuff, but the plugin itself is not shit. I like it. It's good.
Good stuff.
While we're here, 93% of you are coming back to watch more of these videos, but you're not subscribed. So if you subscribe, you'll get a little notification when we're releasing new videos. So why don't you do that, and then we can keep making more of these. See you later.